Hey, how are you?
Hi, Michelle. I am well. How are you?
I'm doing good, and I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about your experience with me. And
Sure.
the first one I wanted to ask is, why did you decide to work with me?
Okay, I got to a point where I was really overwhelmed, and I knew there was more I could do for Joseph, and I knew there was more room for him to learn. So I started looking up online, and I'm like, I really need somebody who's been through, or somebody who knows more than I do, who's walked through this, that can be my coach or help me, figure things out. So I started looking online, got a couple of people, and then I came across your name. And for some reason, I said, let me give her a try because I read your story with, you know, your daughter Juliana, and I was amazed. I'm like, okay, it resounds with me because from nonverbal to verbal, from special ed to integrated. This is amazing. My kid is in special ed now, and that's my goal. So I gave you a call, and it was great from there. You were so warm, like you. It felt like I knew you the very first day we spoke, and the questions you just asked, like I wasn't expecting that. It just brought so much out of me. I thought I was just calling, to get a coach, and but you were so relatable, and the questions you asked me, it kept me thinking, and it brought a lot of emotions. My overwhelm, which was the main thing, I was overwhelmed because it's just me and the two kids. So I was at a point where I'm like, what is it that I can do? But speaking with you, you brought it to, it was like from one mom to another. I get you. I know what you've been through. And some of the things I wanted to explain, like I really didn't have like the words for it. And then you said it best. And I'm like, wow. And I think we even went over the 1 hour or so. Like we spoke for so long. And I'm like, oh my God. And I felt the very first call clicked for me. And I said, that's it.
Oh,
I'm happy I made that call. And then when I found out your location, I'm like, oh wow. I thought I was calling somebody, you
local.
know, hours away from me. And it's local. Yeah. So I was so excited. And truly, you are so relatable.
Oh,
So easy to talk to.
oh, thank you, thank you. What were your goals when you started working with us?
So my goals,
For you and Joseph.
me and Joseph. So Joseph was still in his pull-ups, which was a big deal for me. And, he would take them off. You could tell that he really wanted to be out of the pull-ups. But then we tried the timer a little bit. We fell off. He would go to school. They would do it. We'll come home. He's in pull-ups. So it was all over the place. And you just streamlined it. You just, okay, we're going to get a clock, a timer. We're going to do this. You just laid it out. And you follow with an email. So if you're not going to follow through, there's the next session, which Michelle will be like, tell me about what happened. Like, how did you do? So you gave me the guidelines. You said, you need to get a timer. You need to be consistent. Consistency is going to give you the results. And so when I started, a little bit of a challenge, throwing in the towel here and there. I'm like, okay, let's do this. So the first time I didn't have the timer. I was kind of doing it by my own intuition. I'm like, okay, 30 minutes, let's go. And then my parents too had to babysit when I was working. So you said, okay, so how is mom and dad gonna know it's 30 minutes if there's no timer? Then it's gonna be all over the place. So I had to get a timer, and I had to start doing it with Joseph. And I really saw improvement. It was like day and night. I'll just rush to where we are now, where Joseph will just run to the bathroom to pee. And
Yay.
it's not just pee. Joseph will run to the bathroom, and I'm like, where are you going? I'm chasing him, and he's going to the bathroom, pull his pants down, and he's doing number two. And the first time he did that, I was just screaming because this was a 7-year-old kid. He turned 7 in July, who will pee and pretty much poop in his pull-ups. And when you look at him, like, so I'm like, my God, something's got to be done. And, buying the pull-ups every day, it's not cheap. And this was the smoke, right? And I remember when we spoke, you were like, okay, why don't you try putting him in his underwear on the bus? And I'm like, on the bus? How's that gonna... But now we go outside and he's not in pull-ups because we've learned to let him use the bathroom. And now I regulate the water intake and all the good stuff.
Yay!
Joseph, we there, like, it's what I would say. And he enjoys being in his underwear. And that has saved me a lot because when I buy the pull-ups, it lasts long. It's only for time. And even nighttime, we are trying to have no accidents. So before bedtime, he goes to the bathroom. And I thank you so much, Michelle, for that because...
Kisses.
Thank you.
How are you feeling though as a mom now? Like before, where when we started, you felt super overwhelmed. Where are you now with that?
Okay, so where I am now is where I kind of know that I'm in charge, and not just in charge, but I also like count it's not just where I need Joseph to be, but I know that if I'm better, Joseph has a better mom and I make better decisions. So self-care, thanks to Michelle, who will not
Your hair looks
who
great,
will
by
be
the way.
on your back.
Your hair and nails look great, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. Who will be on your back? And it's not easy when you have a special needs child. But if you don't take care, you just let yourself go because it's all about the child. And I did not realize that was majority of my overwhelm because everything was Joseph. Everything was Joseph. But I needed a break. I needed to know how I was doing. I needed to be in control of myself, to be able to give Joseph the best, to be that mom who's not overwhelmed. So now it's like, it's me and Joseph. We got this. We're going to do it. Even if we try, it doesn't work, we'll try again. So it's a day-to-day thing. And when I called you at first, I was really overwhelmed. But now, hardly, I wouldn't say I never get overwhelmed, but I'm able to retrace. I'm able to go through and say, what happened? Why am I feeling exhausted? What is going on? Then I look and I'm like, okay, this, you're taking on too much. You need to hold on. It all doesn't have to get done right now. You need to take a break. You need to pause. Just take it easy. So I'm able to recalibrate and then get back to a safe place. So that has really helped me a lot. And another thing is having you in my corner, where Michelle says, text me anytime, email me anytime, just let me know anytime. I'm here for you. Just having that person in your corner, knowing I'm getting chills right now. I'm getting goosebumps. Just having that person in your corner, especially with the IEP. Remember how I said IEP was so overwhelming? She's like,
never read it.
I never read it. It's like when there's an IEP meeting, I'm like, oh goodness. But she's like, it's just another document. Just pretend you're reading somebody else's IEP. Yeah, when you go into the mind frame, it's like, yeah, somebody else's IEP. Let's see, which is good. You at ease and you take it easy on yourself. And I'm like, if I'm overwhelmed, I can text Michelle. I can let her know the next session is coming up. So that alone takes a big burden off of you.
Aww.
You have family, all right, but it's like everybody's watching you. Okay, what do you want us to do for Joseph? So if you don't know what you're doing, everybody else is going to be overwhelmed. And you feel their pressure because they're trying to take instructions from you. If you are working, it's like, okay, so what are we doing with Joseph? I actually typed up things. I'm like, okay, they wake up, they do this, and I have it in the pantry. They're gonna do that. It was the summer when we started talking, so wow. I'm like, every day we'll go out. So Joseph has to go outside. So I started doing that, and then I started searching up things. And the big thing, I was avoiding diagnosis. Remember?
Yes, I forgot all about that. Actually, now we said it. You did not have a diagnosis.
I did not
have a diagnosis.
first thing Michelle said is you need a diagnosis, and diagnosis only help. She said, look at it this way: diagnosis only helps you to get things and services for your child,
And that's it.
and that's it.
Yes.
And when the light bulb just went off, I'm like, oh, that is so true. If I have a diagnosis, he gets to get other things, services that he needs. And so I saw it completely, I saw it differently. And then oh, Michelle, I love you. I started searching for doctors. And remember when I called you, I said, oh, Michelle, they gave me January 2020. And she said, oh, January 2020. Okay, you can look for other doctors. So I was looking, like I had called 4 different places. And so they gave me January 2020, one of the pediatrician and developmental pediatrician. And then you told me something. You said, when they give you a date, always tell them that you're available when there's a cancellation. Michelle, this I will not have even thought about. And I said, oh, cancellation, okay. And so when I called them, I said, if there's any cancellation, please let me know. So they called me, they said, October, are you fine with it? I said, yes. And remember, I'm still open for cancellation. And then they called me and said September. That was like a week and a half to the date they were giving me. I said, yeah. They said, do you want it? I said, please, anytime, I'll take it. And so January 2021, we had an appointment in September 2020.
Yep.
I love you for that. You pushed me.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
You pushed me. You pushed me.
So good.
So
I'm glad.
I know how it feels for other moms. You know, it's like, oh, diagnosis. But Michelle will let you know, see it as, it's like a ladder for him to be better, you know, climbing up. Right. So just get that diagnosis, you get all the services. And then ABA came along.
Yes. Yes. We haven't even started. I can't wait for that. All right.
Yeah.
2 more questions and I'll let you go. So what did you enjoy most about working with me?
I cannot pinpoint one thing. I cannot just pick one thing. From the start till now, I love everything. Your motivation, how you break things down, how you make it seem easy. And not just seem easy, but you give the tools and the steps of making it easy, breaking it down. To be like, even if it's a storybook, go get money, petty. Like, if you have to just lay down, uninterrupted, lay down. Another thing, and you did a video about it, you said, it's okay if it's messy. You don't have to do it right now. It's okay. So knowing that it takes that burden off you. So I really cannot point one thing, Michelle, because you pretty much held my hand.
Aww.
And you're still walking with me. And the great thing is you have a coach for a lifetime. You have a friend for a lifetime.
Friends for
life.
life.
You have that person for life. That person you can call any question. Michelle, oh, I called and this happened and she's like, okay. She will listen to you, give you the best advice. So I really, truly, I cannot pinpoint one thing. You made the IEP easy. For the first time, I really read everything in the IEP. Like, I'll just glance through it. It's like, I don't know. It was just so much for me. Like, it will scare me. I just glanced through. I'm like, okay. Because there were some things that I was still battling with. You know, he's 7, but the mind of a child. Yeah. And reading all these things and, you know, the grading system, reading all that. I'm like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. But then it's like, if we don't break it down, how would we even get to help him? So now when I'm reading it or anything that concerns Joseph, I'm looking at the solution.
That's right.
So as the problem is being told, I'm thinking of solution. Because there's always,
that's right.
Right. Because there's always a solution. Yes. And I'm like, that is where the goal is. And so we're not going to be having a pity party. Oh, you know, he's not talking yet. He's not. And your story amazed me. You went from signage to, you know, Juliana talking. And so I said, this is a super mom. She just wouldn't speak to you about it, but she's done it. That's right. And so I feel like that's how you become the best coach for anybody who's going through this. And you are just so warm. so relatable, so nice, motherly. And that makes it all so easy, because every problem that you think is overwhelming, what, and the thing about you is, when you ask the question or I make a statement, you take me back to a point where I didn't even think about, and you walk me, you're like, okay, so why did this happen? And most times I don't even know why I think like that. I'll call, we have our session, and I'll just put something out. You're like, okay, and why did that happen? Why were we not able to do it? Okay, so you will take me back, and then I realize, oh, okay, this is what happened. This is, okay, why was that? And sometimes you realize overwhelm kicked in. So you really go back. And so truly, I'm sorry, but I cannot really say one thing.
Okay,
But
fair enough.
help me in all areas, from the IEP to diagnosis to all of that. So I cannot really pick one thing.
Okay, one last question, I'll let you go. Would you recommend me to any other mother who has a child on the spectrum?
Any day.
Any
day, I will recommend you. I will recommend you. Whoever has a child on the spectrum, I will recommend Michelle, because she will walk you through. And it's not just about your kid, it's about you too. And so she'll find out how you doing. How are you feeling? What's going on in your life? So remember, I was like, Michelle, you sound like a psychologist. You're like, no, I'm not a psychologist.
Definitely
I'm
not.
like, you go. I thought it was just about Joseph, but here we are, you asking me all these questions, and it makes you realize that to be a better mom, you have to be better too. So self-care, it's the number one thing you always
Better
say.
mom, better results for Joseph.
Better results, yes, for Joseph, better results for your child. So I will recommend you to anybody, whoever is out there that's confused, thinking there's no help and they are all by themselves. No, you're not all by yourself. Get with Michelle, and she will get you to take the baby steps. And now I'm checking the autismproducts.com. I'm like on all these sites checking out stuff, and I wasn't that person when I started with you. So definitely I recommend you to anybody and everybody I know that has a child on the spectrum.
Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you for answering all these questions. I love you.
I love you too, Michelle. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you.